Boxing legends draw in an unofficial decision after a thrilling 8-round exhibition battle. The fight ended in a tie, and in fact, it was a very underwhelming encounter between two men in their 50s. The match was rough around the edges, in which neither fighter committed to a high number of hits. Neither looked to fire more than 1 or 2 punches at such a time before collapsing in the clinch, which referee Ray Corona broke up. Tyson hit his famous left hook from a distance on occasion, while Jones flashed flashes of his former self with no-look punches and showboating, a glimpse of the fight. In Los Angeles, California, Mike Tyson did not knock out Roy Jones Jr. on Saturday night, but he looked menacing in his comeback fight at the age of 54. Tyson came out aggressively and chased Jones, 51, for most of their 8-round exhibition bout at Staples Center. Jones, though, remained on his feet as the final bell rang, and the match was ruled a draw by 3 previous WBC champions. Now we'll recollect and highlight in a round-by-round update and commentary from that Saturday's exhibition match between boxing luminaries Mike Tyson and Roy Jones Jr. at the Staples Center. After 8 rounds, the bout was called a draw. Tyson comes out swinging his fists. It appears hostile. Tyson makes a left-to-body connection. Stalking, Jones seemed unsure, perhaps even frightened. Roy is drilled in the ribs by Tyson. Another volley is fired. In a bind, Tyson is continuing, shooting. Jones is now employing a jab. Tyson, on the other hand, battles through it and connects once more. Tyson delivers rapid jabs. Tyson takes a body blow as Jones looks to circle and counter. Tyson's hot on his tail. Tyson's left hook has Jones fleeing. Jones goes to restrain Tyson. Tyson is sneaking in body shots. They're exchanging jabs. Mike Tyson went out of his corner and attacked Roy Jones Jr. with a strong jab, accompanied by an overhand right hand. Tyson was the busier fighter, but none of his blows were malicious, which is precisely how this showcase is supposed to go. So far, Tyson has shown decent head mobility. Tyson is the unmistakable aggressor. Tyson strikes the body with his left hand. Tyson is busy in the clinch, slamming Jones's torso. Tyson steps in with his left hand. Jones responds with a blow of his own before hopping away. Tyson hits a short right, and Jones clinches. Gave both plenty of time to work in the clinch, referee. They split, but Jones quickly steps in to bind Tyson. Jones with the short left hand. Tyson aiming to dig to the body. Tyson tears his body apart. Roy Jones Jr. answered Mike Tyson's body punch with a superb, clean, no-look jab that briefly drew Tyson's attention. Within the middle of the round, there has been some lengthy holding, and referee Ray Corona didn't appear to bother as they leaned on one another. Tyson finished the round with some lefts and embraced Jones afterward in a great episode of sportsmanship. Father Time's indications are beginning to emerge. The output level is indeed a notch less than the first 2 rounds, and they're still wrapping each other's arms. Tyson accidentally headbutted Jones in the opening round, but both competitors appear to be fine. They danced and threw punches, and it's been a competitive, entertaining performance between 2 50-plus-year-old combatants so far. He's been squeezed once more. Tyson stomped on Jones's attempted jab. Jones clinging to Tyson for dear life? It's devolving into a clinch fest. Jones unleashes a barrage of punches. What a great transaction. Jones strikes with a powerful right hand. Jones smacks Tyson in the face with a pawing left hand. Jones uses quick hands in close as they fight in the clinch. Tyson delivers a left uppercut. They both go over to the body and retie. Unintentional headbutt. Jones is checked for a cut by the referee. They keep going. Jones lands a quick 1-2, and Tyson returns to the body. Jones deflects a Tyson punch and maintains his distance until the bell rings. Tyson's at it again with a strong left. Jones is dancing while still throwing punches. Tyson attacks the body, attempting to extract anything from yet another clinch. Tyson scores with 2 body rights. Jones is in and out through the jab. Jones delivers a left hook. As Tyson walks him down, he flicks his hands out. They seal the deal. Tyson returns to the body with a flurry of punches. Tyson landed some heavy blows to the body. Jones comes in with a few of mild head blows that catch Tyson off guard. Ray Corona had clearly had enough of Roy Jones Jr.'s holding, as the referee had issued a warning. At the halfway mark of the fight, Mike Tyson delivered a couple of thudding body blows above the belt that drew Jones's attention in what was the greatest moment of the round for the one-time baddest man on the planet. Jones unleashes a barrage of punches. Nothing. Tyson makes a connection in a different clinch. Another enjoyable discussion. Tyson continues to pummel Jones's body as they're still in a clinch. Tyson made a huge left. Jones appears to be in big danger. Jones with a combination. Tyson comes in with a left hook. In the clinch, they trade body strikes. Jones relaxes a little bit, but they tie up before things get out of hand. Tyson returns to the body. Tyson with a powerful left hand up top. Jones responds with jabs. Tyson slams into the body. Tyson with a combination, Jones with his hands raised. Roy Jones Jr. is hurling punches. Mike Tyson is tense and hurling haymakers. The arms are swinging and the movement is there, but it's clear that neither boxer is looking for the knockout blow. Exactly as envisioned in the display. We should have 6 more minutes of this. Tyson made a huge left. Jones appears to be in big danger. I'm holding on. Barely. Survives a last-second barrage. Tyson seemed energized. Body punches are unleashed. Jones throws a left. Jones seems to be weary. Tyson is looking good. Fighters return to a clinch. Tyson throws a KO punch but misses. Jones's body is under construction. Jones was faking, ducking, and evading. Tyson is still aggressive. He backs Jones into a corner, and Jones ties him up in order to escape there. Jones delivers a jab followed by another. Jones tries to evade Tyson's force. In the clinch, Tyson has the upper hand. Jones now has his hands down and gets Tyson with a quick left hand. Mike Tyson is charging ahead as Roy Jones Jr. is battling from behind. Before the end of the round, Jones gets Tyson's attention with a quick uppercut. Additional holding follows, and if any fighter over the age of 50 can come even close to competing as these two all-time greats, it's a jewel in everyone's crown. Tyson is still the aggressor. Jones, on the other hand, unleashes a barrage of blows. Tyson appears agitated, returns with strong punches, to which Jones counters with his own. Jones is looking sharp, working with confidence on the left jab. Tyson, on the other hand, continues to press on. I'm throwing some body punches. Early on, Tyson strikes with a punch. Jones clinches his fists and leads him over to the ropes. Jones uses his quick hands to hold Tyson at bay, but Tyson counters with a more solid body blow. Tyson's left hand eye even more clinching. Tyson strikes with a left to the chest. Roy Jones Jr. flashes a retro look by dropping his glove on his knee and patiently waiting for an opportunity. It appears to be a cheetah preparing to attack a lion. Both competitors look to be exhausted and doing their best at this moment. Jones delivered a strong performance. The round is won by Jones. The ages-old war has come to an end. We'll start with clinching. Tyson rushes in and Jones responds with pawing punches. Tyson does a body-body head move. Jones has a good combo that culminates in body shots. Tyson backs Jones into the ropes and unleashes a couple of body punches. Jones uses short body blows in the clinch. Tyson gets a couple of extra body blows in before the event concludes. The battle goes the distance as intended and generally plays out as a glamorous and amusing sparring fight. Mike Tyson and Roy Jones Jr. both seem happy that the exhibition is finished after going toe-to-toe for 16 minutes. As previously disclosed, the WBC designated 3 ex-fighters to unofficially score the fight remotely: Chad Dawson, Vinny Pazienza, and Christy Martin. Their scorecards determined that the fight was a draw. Tyson reacted that he's good with that, thinking he won the fight. And he's satisfied and good with a draw because it entertained the fans. Jones Jr. now added that he never thought the fight was a draw. Both men indicated that they were willing to fight again and that they may even stage a rematch, with Tyson emphasizing that his comeback is just to generate funds for charity. It has to be seen whether there's a desire for this. Tyson got his moments inside the ring wherein he dominated, and Jones supporters had to have loved seeing his famed no-look jab. There's also so much gripping and smothering, but that never reached a significant drop or harmed the sport. Surprisingly, the entire event ended out to be an homage to boxing, with performances by eager emerging stars like Edward Vasquez and Jermaine Ortiz, as well as a powerful performance by Badu Jack. Tyson and Jones were the main attractions, and they put on a more than respectable performance to round off the evening. Well, that fight is surely going down in the history books. It's not every day one gets to witness such magnificence, but hey, if you're looking for more, then we've got you. Click on that like button and be sure to slap the subscribe button for more content like this. Thanks for watching. Until next time.